This is the third video of my wash day routine. Now I am going to style my hair just as a wash and go. I rinsed out the conditioner and I couldn't find my t-shirt that I normally wrap my hair up in, so I just used one of my cotton scarves. Here is my freshly washed and conditioned hair. So how we're going to start with this wash and go is with products. What am I using? I'm going to go back and use this replenishing spray. This is what I'm going to call it. It's aloe vera gel mixed with water and some essential oils. This purpose in the wash and go is to keep the hair saturated. You want it to be really wet during a lot of the steps. Next, we obviously need clips to clip it apart, clip the sections away. And then for my leave-in, the first thing I put on is my leave-in. I'm using the Camille Rose Honey Hydrate Step 1. This is very thick, kind of can be very sticky and greasy, so you don't want to use a lot. I tried using this when I was straightening my hair. It was not a good idea. This is my first step, the leave-in. The second step would be my Curlaide Moisture Butter. This is my first time using this butter by Camille Rose. I usually use the Almond J and I think the Aloe Gel something. This is the green tea and jojoba oil one. It smells amazing. It's thick, it has that same consistency like the other ones. It's kind of a little whipped looking, but it's still thick. I need the thick creamy stuff on my hair. That is what helps my twist outs the most. Well, my twist outs, my wash and goes, any little wet hairstyle that I do. So we're gonna use this one. This is after the leave-in, and then the third thing that I'm going to coat my strands with would be the liquid sculpting gel Sebastian Wet. It's compared to the Sebastian Wet, but it's the generic value product from Sally's. I have been using this for years. I kind of don't go without it. This, to me, I like this better than the Eco Style gel when I'm doing things that are, or my hair is down. When you're slicking your hair up, it doesn't really give it the hold that Eco Style gel does, Eco Style or whatever gel does, but it's good. I like that it's not a hard, crisp hold, and it smells amazing. And I don't know, the liquidy part of the gel just works well with the wash and go for me. We're going to separate off into sections. I'm going to do a middle part for this wash and go. It's typically what I do. If you do other parts, I would suggest you start your parting now. I am going to do 4 sections. We're going to start with this section. Your main goal is to keep your hair saturated. When you keep it saturated, it helps with the slip, it helps the product distribute. Keep your hair saturated during this wash and go. I've seen people do it in the shower, but I just have my spray bottle, and plus I like the aloe vera gel anyway. I'm addicted to it now. So when I mean a small amount, I mean about, I would say this is about a nickel, maybe a quarter, spreading a little bit, but this is your honey. Kind of warm it up some, and then I disperse it throughout. Now, if I was using smaller sections, I would use way less. This is almost a little too much, but not. It works, it's working. And you want to coat all of the hair. During this, you don't want to do any detangling, so you really need to use your fingers to work the products in. Your hair should already be detangled, is what I'm saying. So right now, you don't want to do any detangling because you want to keep the definition of those curls. And that's when that water helps as well. So I'm going to do a little spray. And when I say wet, I mean like dripping, like practically about to drip, I guess. And pin that up out of the way. If you leave it down and out, I feel that it starts to dry a little bit faster. step number 1 is done. Now we move on to adding in the Curlaide, your butter. So you don't have to necessarily use this, but the Camille Rose butters are always my go-to. They're my favorite, my absolute favorite, and I just love the way they smell, and I love the way they make my hair feel. For this part, we're gonna add about, I want to say about the same amount, about a quarter size amount, like you did the honey. And you can add more if you feel as though you need to. But yeah, I don't feel like I need more. You don't want to overdo it with product. You don't want it to be weighed down. I'm doing that much because my hair is a little bit thicker and it's bleached, so it can dry out a little faster. But that honey helps so much, in my opinion. Now, if you feel as though your hair is getting a little more dry, you can respray it. But I think this section is pretty good for now. Make sure you work the product in, squeeze it in there in every part. That's how you get the best definition, the least frizz, when you completely coat your curls. Don't forget about your edges, those little curls that form. We want those to be treated too, and your roots. Sometimes I even like to add a little bit more to the root area and the edges, just a little bit. For our final step, we're going to use the liquid gel. If you don't have liquid gel and you wanted to use your Eco Style gel or some other gel that you really like, just make sure that that gel blends in well with the cream that you use. You know how you get those little white balls? You don't want that to happen. And you'll have to remember to break the cast of your hair too after you do the diffusing step. But with the liquid gel, it's much easier and it blends with way more things. Alright, so I use about the same amount that I used with all the rest of the products, about a quarter size amount. And if you're not sure, start with less and then work your way up. So I'm going to coat this on here as well. It just works so much better when your hair is like soaking wet. I'm going to spray some of the dry areas that I feel are getting a little dry. And then I'm going to leave that out. Make sure you get the edges with the gel. Work it in and around your part. In a wash and go also, it's important to work your way up into those roots because you don't want poofy roots. Sometimes I like to add a little extra product on the root to keep it kind of slick down some and a little more weighed down, because over time it's going to get bigger anyway, so I can enjoy a little bit of a flat, I don't want to say a flatter style, but a more tamed root appearance, because it can start to frizz out when you're sweating and working out and all of that, and those curls get really, really, really tight. At least in my case, they do. Alright, so I like to shake out the part right here, because I part my hair down the middle so often that it just kind of falls that way now. So I purposely try to get rid of it in the back. Huh? I'm doing my video! Alright, to dry the hair, we're going to use our diffuser and a concentrator to stretch it. The diffuser is going to dry it. It's going to scrunch up a little bit more than you like it, but it will dry it in a way to where you keep your definitions, you decrease your flyaways. It's just, it was a wonderful invention. The ends are still a little bit damp, and I'm pretty sure there's damp areas inside, but we're not gonna worry about that right now. It's okay. You don't want them to be like soaking wet. So we don't need this anymore. Now we're going to use our concentrator. I would suggest getting a blow dryer with a concentrator and a diffuser. It really helps in the wash and go world. We're going to use this concentrator now to stretch the hair out. You want to do this in sections, and then you do each section a little differently. I'm going to work with the bag first, and I'm going to work in smaller sections, like a strip of maybe an inch of hair, maybe 2 inches of hair. Clip this away, but don't be too rough with it because we still want to keep the defined curls. And here is the section that I'm going to work with now. If you have a blow dryer that has 3 different heat settings, if you use high heat, you'll have to move really fast because it will straighten the hair. It will not really have any of the stretch curls. It will just have straight hair like you blow dried it. I am going to use, in the bag, I like to use the higher setting because I want more of a stretch, because I want to look like my hair is draping. You know? So I'm going to do the high heat, and I'm going to do a high blow. When you're blow drying, you only want to concentrate on the root first. You'll concentrate the blow dryer on the root, pointing down, and this is the motion that you want to have. And you want to hold your hair like this. You want to pull your hair. I hate the word taut. If you watch my other videos, I struggle with that word. You want to stretch the hair down. You do not want to concentrate the ends. You don't want to stretch the ends. You don't want to pull the hair down, and you're going to now see that difference there? And I did high heat, so I was trying to move fast. I'm gonna do it again. Alright, so that section's good. We're just gonna move it on up. Now when I do anything that has a part of the edge within that section, I don't really tend to blow the edges because I like the definition of the curls there, and I don't care if it's shorter and shrunk up. It looks more like layers anyway, so I just tend to not do those. You see how those are a little bit more curly? You'll see it more on the front, what I'm talking about. Now up here is the top and the crown. This is where it meets the other side. I'm going to do a medium setting heat because I still want it to have some of those curls. Here, I'm going to split this and section off a really thin part. This is the part that's going to lay over this hair. I typically do not stretch this part because I want the definition and that layer. And then you just put that section over like so. And this right here will fill out more when the ends start to dry. It's just that some of these ends are still a little bit damp, so it kind of looks weighed down right now. Now we'll move on to the next section. You guys want to look back at it to make sure that it's, you know, pretty even, that you're doing the same amount of stretching on both sides of your hair. If you want some more volume, I'm actually okay with the volume of this one, but if you did want a little bit more volume added to your hair, you can get this concentrator and you can either flip your hair over and start stretching the opposite way, or at least just shooting your roots, or you can do the lazy way like I do and just shoot and lift the roots and just shoot them straight up. See how that gave it a little bit more volume? Alright, and this is basically the finished product. You can tease it with your wide tooth comb if you want to shape it a little bit more, and you know, just shape it with your hands. Alright, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for staying with me throughout it. I know that I did a full-blown talking video. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching this video and being here. Subscribe and like. If you have any questions, feel free. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment boxes below. How many comment boxes do I think there are? I mean, why did I say boxes? Anywho, bye.